Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
We just had one of the single weirdest moments. Me and our guest, Chris Gwaltney from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, thehumidor.com. We were bonding over the song 18 in Life by Sebastian Bach and Skid Row. And we were both singing the high falsetto part.
Whatever happened to him?
The party never ends.
Is Sebastian Bach still doing something?
Oh, yeah.
They're touring, I think.
Skid Row still touring?
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said they saw him a couple months ago.
Wow. How long's that been?
Oh, it's 40,
Too long.
30,
Too
30 years,
long.
25 years?
More than that. I mean, it's got to be 30 plus. Right?
Gwaltney, were you a Skid Row fan back in the day?
Yeah, Skid Row would be late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, it's definitely 80s.
Yeah,
so
87.
they came out, probably 86, 87, 88, same time as Poison hit it big. And remember Cinderella, all those great hair bands, man. You know what? I think that genre catches a lot of grief for, the 80s hair band metal movement or whatever. But you go back and look at some of those bands, man. I mean, musically they were good. I mean, there was a lot of garbage, but I mean, those were some really good. And there's still a lot of them that didn't succumb to their partying are still touring today. But I mean, if you go back and listen to those songs, man, it'll take you. Maybe it's just because I was there, and I remember when those songs came out. It makes you think about things that happened, in that part of your life or whatever. But I think musically, man, that stuff, a lot of that stuff holds up, man. And those guys, like you talked about, some of that Cinderella, Sebastian Bach. I mean, that dude is like 5 octaves up here, bro.
Yeah. Well, it was considered that a lot of these guys were like nerds, right? Like a lot of them were like,
especially the guitarists,
the guitar players, especially. The stereotype was you'd lock yourself in your room and that's all you do, and then you would reemerge as a neon pink and neon yellow effeminate butterfly, and you would know all of the chords and stuff, and then ladies were attracted to you as this colorful effeminate rock star, and it worked. It just worked.
So he's no longer the lead singer of Skid Row, but he is doing his solo stuff, and he has a couple dates coming up on his Bach on the Road tour.
All right.
One of them is going to be at the Miller Lite Carb Day concert.
Yeah.
Miller Lite Carb Day?
Yeah.
I like Miller Lite's like, we're having Carb Day.
What is Carb
I don't know, but I'm interested. It's in Indianapolis.
Miller Lite Carb Day?
we like bread.
Is that
Miller Lite?
It's racing. It's rock and roll.
Oh, carburetor. The wrong carb.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like that also, Chris, is the last day of the true rock star, because these guys could, I mean, pre-social media, pre-internet, you can get away with being the stereotypical rock star and destroying, your hotel room, partying nonstop, like the drugs, the girls. I mean the... who knows what
the carbs. Think of the carbs you could have if you were Sebastian Bach.
You can't act like that nowadays.
No.
You'd be, not only canceled, you'd be arrested. People would be like, look at him. Instantly.
You know what?
Look at the way he's acting.
Gwaltney, I'd be surprised what you think about this. I'm always surprised at the metal guys, and I had a little bit of this when Samantha was on her punk rock cruise, the Flogging Molly cruise.
Yeah.
Metal guys, when they get older, like Sebastian Bach is what, 55? 60?
Damn near close.
Okay, so
54.
54. So I almost hit it on the head. What's weird about it is that as you get older, I expect you to carry less. Like most old men, the goal is tiny shorts, flip-flops, tiny shirt, little hat. But Sebastian Bach, he's shackled to rings, black jeans, black shirt, necklaces, leather belt. It's too much. Boots. Yeah. Like these guys will be wearing boots until they die.
Put your boots off, old man.
I'm in my 40s. I'm in my 40s. I'll be in my 50s in 5 years.
No,
I know,
Ooh.
Dude. I can't be wearing boots in my 50s. My feet don't have enough strength left in them. I need light
arch support.
That's why do you think I'm going Crocs?
Yeah, you have old man bird bone feet.
Yeah, I have bird bone feet, and I need the Crocs because they're easier to lift. Gwaltney, do you agree with that, or am I off?
I agree. I think they should scale it down. I always felt like Steven Tyler. He's going to die on stage because he's going to have
Oh,
so
yeah.
many scarves. There's so many scarves on the mic stand,
Yeah.
it's going to tip over and crush
And
it.
have you
He
seen
has
his toes?
fallen a couple times.
Have you seen his toes?
Oh, they're gnarly.
He has the toes of a falcon. Like they're like talons.
You need to carry weight into your older age because if you don't,
I
you
think Sebastian Bach's doing just fine in that department.
Is he heavy now?
Well,
And he's not.
I'm saying Steven Tyler and anybody that you go into being
Like
an old
Iggy
man
Pop, yeah,
skinny,
yeah.
you get too skinny. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, too skinny, old man. You're like,
Anthony Kiedis is becoming Hitler Iggy Pop.
Yeah.
And why I say Hitler Iggy Pop is because he's got the Anthony
weirdo
Kiedis is
mustache.
you're running a
Yeah.
dangerously small mustache. What I mean by that is not everybody can. Once you run a small mustache, you can eke into dangerously small because you take the Manscaper 2.0, one brush under the nose and you're Hitler. Like you got to be real careful with it, man.
So,
True.
Chris, let's talk about the humidor, what's been going on, and then we're going to talk some minor league baseball.
Oh, I'm
because-
baseball crazy. I bought the show, Major League Baseball, the show, for my Switch and for all my Xbox. I'm running it crazy. I bought a hat from the Tortugas. I bought a hat from the Thrashers rather, which, did you know the Thrashers, they run a dual name. They're also the Surf Dogs.
I'm more of a
Nice.
Savannah banana
Well,
gal.
Savannah, you are a Savannah banana gal.
The bananas are where it's at.
Legendary,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, humidor. I mean, everything's going good. I mean, business is good. People still smoking cigars and enjoying themselves, and really happy with the YouTube channel. People are really starting to. It kind of started out organically, people finding it, and it's starting to blow up a little bit.
Nice.
And, really
Chris.
enjoy doing those videos. They're fun, and it gets. The fun part about it is trying to come up with new content. I mean, there's only so many things you can talk about in the cigar world, right? As far as techniques and tips and that sort of thing. So you've kind of covered it. So we get very creative with some of the content that we put on there. But I think it's cool because you can look at it, and there's a lot of content that we provide that if you Google that with a cigar, we're the only video that's going to show up because no one's thought to do a video on
I like it. Very cool, man.
So, Chris, me and Daniel have an idea that we and the Humidor and ABC, we pool our money to Tom and Dan and the Humidor and ABC, pool our money together and sponsor the Daytona Tortugas.
Okay, I like this. Lately, we've been putting good energy out into the universe. All right, I like this idea.
Yeah.
ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, thehumidor.com, and Tom and Dan, and the Loyal Ladies Society of Tom and Dan
Yes.
present family fun nostalgia baseball night with the Daytona Tortugas. Sheldon, the mascot, has already invited me. He slid into my DMs on Instagram. Sheldon, who is the cartoon turtle of the Tortugas, he wrote me and he said he's going to reach out to the marketing department.
That's big time.
It's pretty neat. I didn't know that he had that much yank.
So, Chris, what do you think about minor league baseball?
I love minor league baseball. I think it's probably the most family friendly sports entertainment you can get because they really when it comes to marketing, they get very creative. Being in Jacksonville, we have the Jumbo Shrimp, used to be the Suns, and I've been to many games, and it's not expensive, and they always have something going on. It's very kid, they trust me. You want to go and drink, they'll have. I know in Jacksonville they'll have a night where it's like a drink fest, right? I can't remember what they call it, but
Like a bladder
got
buster.
some-
Yeah.
It says here they call it Drink Fest.
they'll have. I mean, and the young folks will go there and drink and have a good time. But there's always something for kids to do, and they do they shoot a fireworks show every Friday and Saturday night. They'll let kids run the bases after the game.
Yeah, it's
It's
great.
just stuff you don't get to do in the big league ballparks, right?
Here's
So
something you don't
it's,
get to do in the big league ballparks that I just printed out. Look at this picture of this old lady and her one-eyed dog. Do you see that dog?
Cute.
Do you see that dog? He's one-eyed, Gwaltney. This is from the Tortugas. After I bought my hat online, apparently I've opted in for all of their. I'm getting all the hard sell, right? And I might actually buy tickets because it's a value. You're right. It's not expensive at all. The Tortugas are doing Bark in the Park. It's passed, but you can buy tickets to the game and you can bring and sit at the game and drink a beer with your pee-pee dog in the stadium. This is a dream come true. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to sit there with my dog Maggie, my mom's pee-pee dog with the horrible warts growing out of its eyes, and I want to sit there and watch baseball and drink a beer and with my dog. It's awesome.
Chris, with the minor league, like, do any of the players even stand a remote chance of moving up to the majors?
Yeah, I mean, everybody goes through the majors. Through minor league system, no matter how good you are. So they may not spend a whole lot of time in, I'll put it this way: the higher your classification, the more likely you're going to see guys going up. Right? Everybody always say double A's where the really good players are. Triple A's either guys that are on assignment or guys that just kind of can't make it. But most superstars, are going to spend some time in Double A. Jacksonville, I got to see some really great players through the years when they were part of the Dodgers organization and then part of the Marlins. Got to see Juan Carlos Stanton come up and play a season in Jacksonville. Back then he was Mike Stanton. He changed his name to Juan Carlos when he went down to Miami. But just watching that guy hit bombs. So yeah, you're going to see some guys. You'll see that the highly talented guys probably won't stay at Single A long, but
yeah, like Ronald Acuna Jr. in Triple A,
and there'll be guys who aren't highly thought of that just make it the old fashioned way. They just get something clicks when it's their job and all they do is play baseball, and maybe some guys develop a little bit later and they weren't highly thought of, and they that journeyman kind of guy.
I'm
Crash
enjoying
Davis
it
from Bull Durham.
I'm enjoying it more and like following some of the players and like following like them, like the rehab stint that Ronald Acuna Jr. he just did with I forget the name of the whatever the affiliate is for the Braves, but you could like I guess if you were going to that game, arguably you could see him there, rehabbing whatever injury he had. And then bouncing back. And then there's I think his name is I want to say Jesse Chavez. That guy, he's like an older pitcher that's been with like everybody. And my wife and I were just talking about him because we saw him win with the Braves this past year. And then he had gone away to like the Marlins, and we're watching him pitch with the Marlins. I'm like, there he is, pitching with the Marlins. The next day he comes back to the Braves. Like literally, we talked about him. The next day they're like, we need another arm, so they brought him back in. I'm learning a little bit about it, and I created my own player. So I'm a little guy on the Braves, and I'm center fielder, little Danny on the Braves.
Hey, Chris, do you know
Nice.
do you know anything about this player? I saw him on TikTok, and people present like legends on TikTok, and they give you a little background.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is presenting. He's like, "This is the fattest Major League Baseball player of all time."
Oh my God!
And his name is Bartolo Colon. Have you heard about this person? And then he's still apparently pitching. I think he may be in the minors, obviously. Now he's like 43. But he was a Major League Baseball pitcher, and he lost all his
he's a
money.
big boy. Yeah, he's a large. Bartolo's a large man.
Yeah. And then, he showed up, fatter than ever. There's this legend behind him. It's kind of like Kenny Power style, where he's insanely good pitcher, but he refuses to lose weight. And
You know who
drinking.
he looks like? I don't want to say it, but he does look like one of our listeners who likes to clean boats and cars a little bit.
He is giant. But every once in a while in baseball, there's these people that they're like they have really good raw talent. It's kind of like John Daly, you know what I'm saying? But they're a horrible athlete. And they refuse to do anything athletic eat well.
What if it changed, right? It's like Freddie Mercury, right? There are some people that say that the way that his teeth were articulated in his mouth, that there are certain notes and certain projection of the way that he's sang that would never be duplicated had he changed that, right?
With this big, beautiful,
right. So let's say that earlier on he'd been teased, and instead of finding music as like his escape and then going that route and becoming a superstar, let's say his parents had been, wealthy. What if they just changed his teeth?
He'd never be that.
Maybe he'd never be that guy, right? So this guy, what if he decides to lose all the weight, tighten up, become a muscle man, and then old Barto's he's like, what if his fat was his superpower? No one's ever said that, by the way. No one has ever said
No,
that.
your fat can be your superpower. Exhibit A, Chris Farley, right? So
True.
Has there ever been a more athletic big guy than Chris Farley? Not just a big guy, but Chris Farley carried a lot of weight, but that dude was like as agile as a gymnast when you've watched some of those old skits and some of his physical comedy that he did.
Yeah, well, when he was doing the
Probably harder on his
Chippendales.
heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
True. It looked good on the
definitely probably
outside.
Contribute to it.
On the inside.
Belushi the same way. Belushi was a pretty big guy, not as big as Chris, but was very agile and athletic guy. You know, still do a lot of stuff. So
I think
did his own stunts, by the way, in the Blues Brothers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Chris, you think there's some people in the minor leagues, because of the popularity of like the Kenny Powers character, that they have players just for the entertainment value? Like, they're good hitters, maybe they're like borderline, they should be there or not.
Oh, but they're a character.
But they're a character.
They're a personality.
So they show up and they do kind of like some Kenny Powers adjacent thing, and the crowd loves them. They're like, oh, look at he's doing it. He
he's
comes
doing
with
the thing.
He got Oakley
he's
blades.
cocky,
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, blades are rampant. And in this game, Gwaltney, in this game, I could choose how big I want my Oakley blades. It's the best thing ever. I have the biggest, I have ginormous, and I have a pink lens on them, and I have bright white frames and fluorescent yellow, what do you call those? The sides of them, the arms of my glasses, fluorescent yellow lightning bolts.
Well, I do think minor league ballparks do have minor league teams. I mean, obviously their number one goal is to develop, players, but they also have to sell tickets and make the owner money. So winning is not as important to the big club as developing the players. So, but the owner, you own a team, and you got to make money, or you can't lose money. So they have to that's why they're so creative with the marketing, right? So they will have guys, they'll have players that are crowd favorites. I mean, not just you see it in minor league hockey, right? If you own a minor league hockey team, you got to have a couple goons, man, because people want to see fights. So you always have those guys that have been never going to do anything, but they just like to go out there and crack people upside the head, and it's good for business.
I'm
they gotta sell
surprised.
tickets.
Like, I've been on a sports kick lately, and I was watching Lightning Panthers last night, and I was really surprised at how they let that go. Like, here's a game that truly doesn't matter for anybody, and then, for into the first period, you got two guys smashing each other's faces open. It was a bloodbath.
I think there's some sort of unspoken rule that if there's a game that's boring, like it's a blowout
This was
or whatever.
not a boring game. This was it was goal, back and forth, and then they started fighting. It was all they wanted to prove who's the best in Florida, and we just happened to. This is so ironic that Florida has really good hockey teams. I mean, really good hockey teams. And last night, that was one of the best hockey games I think I've ever watched. It was back and forth. Some guy looked like he got his nose broken.
That's got to be a direct result of hockey players are like stereotypically from the north, and they're tired of being in the cold. So when they see there's a Florida opportunity, they'd rather go to Florida, right?
No idea.
I mean, if you're living in Canada all your whole life, and there's two teams, one in Milwaukee and one in Florida,
like Finland, Poland, the Ukraine, Russia, all these places also have been in the news recently.
Dude, no state tax, like that's a huge deal.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine? I feel bad for someone you're in Canada, right? And hockey is their world. I mean, that is everything to them. It is their national pastime. They worship hockey players. You're in Canada, and you're sitting there, you're locked down. You can't do anything. You got truckers, got the whole city locked down. You can't go to the restaurant without 3 forms of identification and 2 Vax cards, and you're watching 2 Florida teams, 2 of the best teams in the NHL, slugging it out in front of 30,000 people in a packed arena.
Oh,
yeah, and then you're looking at the arena and you're like,
in Florida.
no mask! The whole arena, not one. You think, at least one granny would have a man, no mask.
I did make that joke. I made the same joke to Andrea
granny
last night.
spitting in
It's
each other's mouth.
No, there were people wearing shorts, which also I feel like is insulting. You had guys wearing Dukes spitting on each other at the 2 best teams and not 2 of the best. I will say the Maple Leafs are also very, very good. But
and then they're like, no
state
state tax. That makes a difference. Well, Chris, anything else? Obviously, we want to promote when you do check out at the Humidor and you buy cigars, use our promo code Tom and Dan.
Yep, Tom and Dan.
You'll save 20% off your order. And also, of course, when you go to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, use hashtag TDABC, and then you could win a prize each month.
I saw that over the weekend, people buying certain seltzers and then telling us we were wrong on our flavor profiles.
No, really?
People just buying seltzers crazy over the weekend, man.
Well, maybe I could come up with some kind of special either video or promotion that involves cigars and Skid Row and maybe 80s.
Whoa.
No, all right, I like that.
All right. I like
I
that.
got to do something.
Let us know. We'll promote it. Chris Gwaltney, thanks so much for talking to us. And we'll talk to you next
All right.
month. All right?
All right, thanks.
All right.
See
See
ya.
you, man. That is Chris live from his office in Orlando hanging out.
I wonder, so with minor league baseball, they make all their money on ticket sales and
Merch, probably.
Merch,
and-
concessions,
Yeah.
and partnerships.
it's not
you know.
televised, right? Maybe on the
In
internet.
this day and age, I
know.
bet you
It's on the internet,
you could
right?
find a stream. I'm just putting it out there that I would like to work with the Daytona Tortugas. Sheldon has already spoken for the entire marketing department and said that he's on board. So I think we can have great things. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
we could get some BDM families and hang out and do a little
I do.
baseball night?
I do.
I think
but
it'd be awesome.
I don't know what their marketing budget is there, but
Well,
we're a small
I
show,
know what
so they
ours
could probably
is, and
yeah.
ours is just apparently we just take money and just send it randomly to people who don't even want it. They don't even want it. In fact, I read
like, "Quit sending us
I
some."
read some things over the weekend where people are like, "God, I have to go to my mailbox and check." Oh my God, would have been better if you not even thought about me. I'm like, okay, we could have done that.
Yeah.
It would have been easier, but
It's fine. The people enjoyed it.
okay.
Uh,
Bye bye.
Welcome back to a corporate time.
I went to Chili's over the weekend.
Oh, you did? Why'd you do that?
Did you really?
Yeah, I had to.
Was that some
How was
residual
the chili?
chilies?
That's the Chili's.
Was it the Bahamas?
You want me to tell you about it? Or I want to tell you. You know what? I'm going to tell you about it on the BDM show. Not a BDM? Sign up at tomanddan.com.
Okay.
I think we lost a few this
It's
weekend.
a
Yeah, we
yeah,
actually did.
We did. We
I
lost
checked the
some.
numbers and I was
Went
like,
down a
"Ah,
few."
I went down a couple. All right, that's
Boy, these guys got really mad.
We deserve it.
did
Note
not
to
expect
self.
that.
Thank you card to all. I didn't know how far a thank you card goes these days.
No way that we couldn't do it at all. It would have been.
It would have been impossible.
But anyway,
Your
it's
idea
fun.
was, though, you had a really weird idea when you said just send gifts to our white listeners. I was like, oh.
I could tell by the name. Oh no! All right, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. We have to fix that last comment. All right, what are we gonna do now? We ruined. I got a voicemail. I'm playing.
All right.
I got something planned for everything. Let's try this one.
Hey, Tom and Dan, Claremont BDM. Listening to the latest BDM show, Dan's talking about anxiety
When aren't I?
after 190 days of drinking, and he briefly touched on
Wait,
Wait, you messed it up. 190 days
Oh
of
man, no
drinking.
wonder you have anxiety.
My God. Every day loaded. No, 190
yeah.
days of not drinking.
Yeah. 190 days of drinking is easy.
Sounds
by
amazing.
The way.
Yeah, I did that for I did that for 10 190 days.
yeah.
More than that. 20.
Yeah.
20
That's
21
easy.
90s.
That's maybe the easiest thing
Yeah.
to do.
If that's the problem.
I had a gene site test done. It's pretty cool. It comes back with these 3 columns of information and with these different classes of medications, and it I guess they compared them all to different genes in your body and whatnot, and it ends up showing like which ones will work best for your makeup. And your doctor will review that, and then it really helps them dial it in even further, and it's worked wonders for me. I'm on a small cocktail of different things, but ever since having that test done and switching some of my medications and some of the dosages, it's been awesome. So I have health insurance, I think, with
Okay, there you go. So I guess I can get a test to help narrow
Why
it
wouldn't
down.
they do that all the time?
I know.
Because it's probably one of those things where, like,
Cost a lot of money or something?
the insurance.
Well, what doesn't?
Yeah, insurance doesn't take care of it.
My insurance
right?
isn't covering nothing. I
Yeah.
got another medical bill over the weekend.
Yeah. I don't know why we have insurance. It doesn't
I'm
cover
canceling
nothing.
mine.
But then, so it's like expensive mixed with some doctors will be like, well, for the most part, people don't do what we tell them anyway. For instance, like they don't stop drinking, and when they get on like some sort of antidepressants or whatever,
Right.
which the doctor will tell you like don't drink because the alcohol and all this other stuff affects the medication that's not working the way it is. So how
Correct.
the hell are we supposed to know and dial it in when you're adding all these other chemicals, right? So they probably just give up and they're like, well, screw testing your genes because you're still an alcoholic. So that
Right.
won't make a difference anyway.
Exactly.
You know, it's kind of like why I tell my wife, she's like, Diet Coke's bad for you. I'll go, if I quit everything else, then I'll look at the
Yeah,
Diet
you
Coke.
gotta look at a list of everything that's bad for you and like pick a couple of those to get
Start
rid
with
of.
the worst.
Yeah.
If I'm not quitting the worst, then all the other stuff.
Let's
like,
start
we're-
with heroin. We'll work our way
Yeah.
back to Diet Coke.
So, unless you're willing to to do what Daniel's doing is like living clean, then the gene stuff won't really matter if it's all over the place anyway. Because I imagine just like what happened to you, if you lose weight, that affects your chemicals.
Yeah, I think I'm
Yeah.
still going through that now. Like recently, have been like I'm still feeling like overly medicated, so I'm still trying to dial that in.
It takes a long time, I
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah, I
It
mean,
takes like 2 weeks to like actually acclimate to your body.
And this particular pill, she I hit her up and she's like, "No, we want you on 6 weeks for this one for whatever reason. That it's everything's different." And so I got to go back. Yeah, it's a process. I'm working on it. I appreciate your information though. Maybe I can mention it to my doctor.
Also seems to be super complicated. You're trying to do body chemistry, right? So you're trying to like equalize your body chemistry. So
But you have to live it. You can't just do it off site and then
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it in yourself and it works perfectly. You have to actually live it to see if it's going to work or not.
Right.
and your
Which is the worst part.
your brain is constantly, putting out chemicals too, where your doctor's trying to add chemicals to balance out your
Yeah.
brain's chemicals, and then it's like,
Not
who
to
kno-
mention all the
Yeah.
illegal chemicals I'm putting in my body. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah, yeah.
MDMA,
You're just trying to-
copious amounts of acid. I'm microdosing. I'm my own doctor. So I've got what my doctor tells me to do, and then I've got my own diagnosis and my kind of like my separate experiments that I do aside. That's the microdosing.
Yeah, yeah,
Normally, I get most of my information about microdosing and my own anxiety from stand-up comedians because they know everything about it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they're also stable.
yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. You get,
Yeah.
all you got to do is you listen to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And then.
Exactly.
Be your own doctor.
Yeah, be your own doctor.
Oh.
BYOD. That's what I say. BYOD.
The internet will tell you, for sure.
Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
for our freedom. First email, Sam.
All right, let's see here.
Uh oh. Did you get the one I put? I photocopied my butt this morning. I put it on Sam's desk.
I don't have that one.
Oh, Tom may have stolen it. He's trying to always run interference with my schemes.
Hi, T&D Media. I just wanted to say thank you for putting the extraordinary effort into thinking about subscribers.
What? Hold on. Frame that. Where'd you get that? Who said that?
I think this is a fake email.
No, the majority of people appreciated
I
it.
don't
It
know.
you only hear the
Who's
you know,
majority? I don't know that.
You only hear the handful of people that they're not gonna like anything.
We give our money all the time to other companies that could care less about us, and we think nothing of it. Meanwhile, your entertainment value is always top tier, and I've never heard a show in my long time of listening that didn't make me laugh, regardless of the subject or guest.
Whoa, that's a bold statement. This person is saying that we have never done a show that didn't make them laugh.
At least one
Yeah,
laugh.
guaranteed
right?
one laugh.
Guaranteed one
Yeah,
laugh.
That's our guarantee. One laugh.
The
a
one
show.
laugh, the Tom and Dan. Can we copyright the Tom and Dan one laugh guarantee?
I think
We will
can.
guarantee at least one laugh, or you get that laugh back.
You know, I need to start. Oh yeah, keep on. No.
Anyone who listens.
I need to start laughing. I'll write that down.
Wow.
You know what? This year, I'm
laugh.
gonna learn to laugh this year and dance as if no one is watching.
Anyone who listens and is not a BDM is a fool.
Hold on, I'm having a heart attack.
Oh no.
Oh, get the aspirin.
It's a give me my aspirin.
It's a pink Mountain
Stop
Dew.
drinking the pink lady.
I can't stop that. Water tastes like crap.
What if it is a pink Mountain Dew?
What if it is? Well, then I'm back to alcohol.
Anyone who listens and is not a BDM is a fool because no other podcast is doing this for their subs. Joe Rogan's not going to put on a
'cause he's
barbecue.
rich. Joe Rogan didn't. Yeah, you know who did? You know who used to put on a barbecue for everybody? Saturn. And look where they are. They're all dead. That whole company dead. Saturn used to have that. Every Saturn owner I knew would be like, "Oh, I got my invitation to the Saturn barbecue," and I'd be like, "I'm a BMW or I had a Ford at the time or Volkswagen." And look where Saturn is now.
Joe Rogan's not going to put on a barbecue and ask all of his fans to come down, but you do. I don't interact with the community often. I just like basking in the comedy and not to be noticed. I felt compelled to at least reciprocate the effort that you put into this by saying, "You're welcome. Keep it up for as long as you want to, and I'll always support."
Well, thank you very much. I feel like we're a small business like any other small business, and like, of course, like Walmart is not gonna. The one of the Waltons is not going to cook hot dogs in front of their business for their.
Well, for a photo op, they would.
Yeah.
We need to do more photo ops.
But it's like, you'll see the small hardware store do like a customer appreciation and like get some donuts and they have to do that stuff.
I got a box of Joe here and 12 box of Joe and 12 glazed.
And then they'll get out there with the barbecue and cook hot dogs and get a bounce house. You know what I'm saying? That's what they have to do. We do digital bounce house.
Right, digital bounce house town. That's the best idea he's ever had. Seriously. That might top digital meatball. Where are we at with digital meatball?
Still working on it.
All right. The development phase is taking forever.
Digital bounce house.
You know what? I'm glad. I'm glad that as I sit today, I can feel everybody in the world globally hating NFTs. I can feel that.
Yeah.
I can feel it. We're there. I knew that one would happen. I knew that crypto, we'll figure that one out.
Fleshing it out.
But NFTs, 100% everybody thinks they're stupid. 100%.
Yeah. It's
We're there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand the future technology of it, but it's
It's something I don't need to understand.
yeah. But there's way more hate towards NFTs than anything else. Like
More now. It ran for like a week. Everybody was like, we're all on board. We all agree NFTs are for me. And then like now we're not on board now. We're mad at him.
What's
again.
Kirk doing? Is he still working?
Oh,
on?
don't talk about Kirk.
Yeah.
He's in the metaverse.
We
Lost.
don't talk about
He's
Kirk.
lost.
No.
He's lost in the metaverse. Can't get out.
Oh no.
That's true. It burned hot, and he was like, "Guys, I'm gonna be here every week talking about it."
Haven't heard from him.
I know.
Or Kratom Carey.
that one.
You know they wore the same hats. Kratom Carey.
What if they're the same person?
Oh my
Whoa.
God! What if Kirk Bonacci, local comedian,
Was it an old man
and
suit?
NFT? Yeah,
Like Johnny Knoxville.
that's ageism.
What? The old man suit thing?
Yeah, you can't be doing that, Kirk. Kirk Bonacci is an ageist.
You can still do old man suit, right? Do people get mad at that?
Dude, I get mad at it. I'm an old man, and I get mad at it.
Yeah.
No.
You're
no.
young, Kirk. Act young.
Act your age.
Act your age, Kurt. Not your shoe size. Write that down.
You can never really move like an old man when they try.
I move like an old man right now.
No, but I'm saying when they put Ronaldo in the old man suit,
Yeah,
it's like
too fluid.
Yeah, like I could tell right off the bat at first kick he's not an old man.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm like, wow.
I think you could pull it off, Tom. You're stiff.
Yeah,
stiff.
Yeah, but I can't do anything impressive in the old man suit. The people are like,
Well,
all right,
no, we're
old
not
man
going
too
for
stiff.
impressive. We're going for genuine old man. And then you do the reveal, and you're like, ha-ha, I was young the whole time. And people are like, whoa, bro. People are like, whoa, you
got
really
me.
know. You move like an authentic old man.
Oh, so it's a reverse. So
Yes.
like, oh my god, I can't believe you're young.
Yeah. So the idea is to have a
Oh,
baby.
man,
What we
that's
need
the
is a
other one.
baby. We need like a 3-year-old. We need a 3-year-old. They were like, oh my god, look at that itty bitty old man. And then they pull, not an old man. I'm a baby. And we're like, oh my god, you're a handicapped baby.
Nick.
neck, bite my neck. What's wrong with you? All right, here's a voicemail.
Tom, Dan, Sam, the fat suit thing. I have to disagree with you, man. I don't think that people are gonna fat shame people that are wearing suits and stuff, because look at Fat Thor. No way in hell Chris Hemsworth is gonna gain 75 pounds to be Fat Thor and then be able to lose it again before the next movie. No way. I mean, he ain't Christian Bale.
There you go.
Isn't the problem is not necessarily one particular actor that obviously you can't bring in another actor for that part. He's got to wear the fat suit. The problem is like another actor wearing a fat suit being cast instead of a fat person. I'm sorry. It's been a rough weekend.
What is that, by the way? Is that just a beret?
What?
Oh.
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing.
Who's here?
Move
Oh
on.
my God, he's got
Oh,
it.
the fat suit. Oh, am I supposed to talk about it?
No.
It's fine.
Yeah, don't drop that T.
What happened?
Nothing.
I don't know.
I know you don't know.
This
it's
is
okay.
You're not supposed to say fat suit.
No,
No, it's fine.
it's fine. Here's Fortnite Josh.
Hello, Tom, Dan, and Sam. It's Canadian Josh. This one's for you, Tom, specifically about the topic you guys were kicking around on the last BDM show with Ross McCoy regarding Fortnite. This discussion was huge in my house. My kids were that age as well. I eventually won. Take that, Crow. And yeah, it's fine for kids. 8 years old, buddy. He's fine, especially if they're already watching The Simpsons or playing Roblox. Absolutely. For what it's worth, you have my blessing to let Tommy start playing Fortnite. And again, to echo something Ross said, teaching your kids gun safety. Very important, in my opinion. We did the same in the Canadian Josh household with our boys as well. But yeah, the warning for the 13 years old, I'm not sure where anybody gets that. No offense to your wife, Tom, but we got to give our kids a little bit more credit. I think they do realize this is, in fact, make-believe. And like Ross said, it's basically like toy guns. So it's fine. After that, then you get them on to Call of Duty. Love you guys. BDM for life.
There you go.
It wasn't my wife that said 13. It was what the game says.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like, I don't
That's
know.
the suggested rating.
It was
yeah.
the suggested rating. It wasn't Crystal, but
Which it doesn't follow with anything else. So, and we kind of already decided we're getting him Fortnite for his birthday, coming up in 2 weeks now.
That's crazy.
So, although Max is going to be playing it too.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's fine.
And Max is actually more emotional, so he's the one that is, has a problem with things more than Tommy. So it's probably not a good thing, and I'm exposing Max to it.
Yeah.
But it's
What are you gonna do?
It'll
You
be
know?
fine.
Yeah.
They'll work,
They'll work it out.
They'll work it
I
out
know.
together. I have a feeling that Tommy being there is a benefit to Max and vice versa. Like whatever Tommy isn't seeing there, Max will explain to him, and they'll figure it all out.
He's been wanting it. Like, my sons haven't really, they don't really beg for like something. They got so much stuff.
Yeah, you
like,
say that, and it's the exact opposite with Maisie. Like, she will get it. She does the old school. That's why I call her so basic. And I don't mean really anything negative by that, but it's truly, you always say like, my boys don't really, they don't really mention anything. Maisie will find one thing and does like the old school, cut it out of the thing, tape it to the fridge. I want my
love it.
TikTok watch. Like, I want my, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, it's very old school. Like, I'm going to ask for it for my birthday and save my money. And you never mentioned that.
They don't do that. Although Tommy's been really asking for Fortnite for a
there
long
it
time
is.
now. And
That's the only thing this little boy wants.
and now
It's hot, still hot, man, and even more hot with those kids.
But because they normally don't do this, I have the opportunity to make this about myself.
Right. You're the hero here.
And present it to him in a grandiose way.
Are you gonna dress as a Fortnite guy? And you're gonna do the dance.
Yeah, is that the Fortnite dance?
Yeah, you do the Fortnite dance when you get what is it? You double
idea.
Grand Supreme or whatever you get
No, you pump one fist
while you're
and
doing
then-
like a kick,
and then you kick the opposite leg
Yeah.
at the same time. I haven't figured that one out.
and you're
but
dressed like Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe.
yeah. But I want to present this to him in a grandiose fashion, so he starts crying, he faints. I
Oh,
don't
so
know,
you want to do? Okay, so what you got to do is you
He's
got.
like, yeah!
Do you want to take him up high and bring him down low, or bring him down low and take him up high?
Oh, like he does. Like he does. I can't even fake disappoint people.
So you're in there.
I can't ever.
God.
So what you do is you're in there playing Fortnite, right? And then have him come in and then act like you're caught, and then like shut it all down, right? And then shut it all down. Say, I'm good at these sort of things. And be like, what? And then he'd be like, well, you play Fortnite? You're like, you didn't see nothing. And then just go about your day acting like nothing, right? And then
this
eventually,
is twisted, man.
and then eventually reveal, so I was playing that because I got you set up with Fortnite. Then you do the dance.
Yeah.
The old.
Confetti falls.
I feel like the old school dad would play this prank a lot, where like Christmas Day, like the
My
kids.
dad would hide everything under the couch.
Well, they'd open up all the presents, and the one thing the kid
BB
always
gun,
wanted,
bike, surfboard,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
under the couch.
The prank was the kid thought that he's not going to get it, right?
Right.
Yeah, that was
And then
that
they-
was my dad's only prank.
And then when the kid starts crying, then
Yeah.
the dad is like, "All right,
all right, pussy, here's your BB gun."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
feel
know
like
that,
it's
yeah.
super toxic to do. Like,
Yeah.
why did you do
The
that?
only thing that stops this pussy from crying is a little Nintendo. Here, wipe your tears, Super Mario.
why did you? Who does that make happy?
All right.
Does that make the dad happy? Like
All
the
right.
kid
Sega Genesis, either that or a diaper.
is it about bringing him ultimately low and then
Yeah.
because I feel like it's hard for
It's
them
the
to
swerve.
rebound
It's
off
the
of that.
swerve.
Why'd you do that?
We've all known, well, at least in my generation, we all know what
That's
it's
not good.
like to be smiling and know you're really happy as you're wiping tears away because you were really crying. Right?
But it's like, is that the best way to die? I don't think it is.
Should I jot
right?
this down for my therapist? Is this something that, like, because my dad forever did the you're not going to get it, but then you got it.
Yeah, that's an old
Until
school.
one time I didn't get it.
Oh.
But it's
And that was because I was like too old. And then like I figured out through not asking my mom and dad, the reason I didn't get like a big gift for like, because I always was a good kid. So there was no reason to like not reward me, right? And I didn't get rewarded because I had a job. I was like paying my own insurance.
Yeah,
and
they're
stuff
like, you're a
yeah,
grown-ass man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm a grown ass man.
but it's like
Apparently, my parents thought I was grown at 9 years old.
Yeah, that happens. Some parents do that. Yeah.
what was
They're
that?
different parents.
Yeah.
Was that for the enjoyment of the dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
It's
see
the
your-
prankster and
It's
the dad.
It's to give my
They
dad.
think it's funny.
like
My
well,
dad was sensitive.
It's a weird thing to think it's funny, right? Like,
agree.
like getting it super sad, and then you're like, "Here you go," and then it's like he would have probably been more excited in a different way. Well, like, right? Like, seemed like a just mean prank to do that doesn't make anybody happier.
I would be willing
I
to
don't know.
bet that if we put this question, and I am putting this question out to our listening audience, you can leave us voicemails one of two ways. You can call the number 1-844-TOM, the letter N, Dan, Tom N, Dan. Or you can get our free app where all of our, everything's on there. You can sign up to be a BDM, all kinds of crazy shows on there. There's a little area called Mediocre Messages. Hold that down. You can leave us a voicemail message. I'd be willing to bet that the vast majority, well over 65% of our listening audience has had the old dad tried to get me with you didn't
The
get
old
it.
switcheroo.
My dad, like, it's all, every gift, I think every big gift I got, I didn't earn it, but then I earned it. Every single one.
Is that
abuse? I don't know.
I'm asking you.
If it is, it's very mild.
Look, you know this
it's
stuff.
not abuse, but it's a weird because like okay, if
I've never
It's
thought that
mildly
it's,
traumatizing.
if the
If you're making your kid cry.
I've never
Yeah.
thought that it's weird until now. My PXL 2000, my surfboard, my bikes, my boombox, any of the remember when I got the stereo with the George Michael CD?
yeah.
You know, all of that, like a stereo with a George Michael CD. When I originally, I was like, oh, I guess that's it. The last gift, notoriously, was clothing. So it would be socks and underwear. And then Dad would be like, oh, do you think maybe Santa Claus forgot something? You know, like always. And then you go around the couch, and they're
Well,
sitting there.
That's different
is,
because that you know is coming, and if it's a tradition, then you know that you open all the gifts.
So
and
you're
your
not
dad-
counting that.
Well, I'm saying like I've seen like videos or whatever or stories of like the kid, you know, they go too long with the prank of you didn't get what you really
What
wanted.
about the year I got a keychain surfboard? I opened up a tiny box, and inside of it was just a surfboard keychain. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, you said you wanted a surfboard.
Yeah.
How's that, Dan Lee? You said you wanted a surfboard. You can't ride that one, can you? Too small. We got you a real surfboard. Stop crying, you pussy. That's exactly what happened every year. Is that what you're...
Did you
But
like
then
it?
you had to stop
Yeah,
falling
but I
for
was...
it, right?
No, you always fall for it because you're dumb.
Did you like it?
I mean, that...
Did you
the
like
surfboard
it?
I like.
No, I'm saying, did you
Did you like crying? No.
Did you
No,
like it?
the honest answer is no.
Okay,
I
yeah.
did not
Did
like crying.
anybody like
No,
it?
nobody likes crying, Tom.
I don't know
Actually,
because I
this is a
don't.
big moment on the show. We're doing a lot of good here. This is a pivotal moment.
Okay, because like I want to ask the audience because I'm sure
They know because they've had this happen
yeah.
to them. 100%.
Did they
This is
like
maybe
it?
over 75%.
And now, do you do it to your kids? If you didn't, like, ask yourself, do you like it? Like, did you like that happening to you?
This is like the type
Who
of thing.
is it for?
You know
we,
what?
have, we have one person in the chat that says that it was done to them, and now they also do it to their
Okay,
children.
see, it's like abuse
did you
passed
like-
on to abuse.
Yeah, they're passing it on.
Did you
And
like-
it's
was it-
generational
It's
abuse.
generational abuse.
Was it a positive experience? Like, if you can make
It's not a positive, I don't believe.
because if you made the
He
argument,
says, I did not like it, but I love doing it to my kids.
Wait, that's like regular abuse.
You're twisted, man.
Because it makes you feel better, you know?
so it's just for the parent.
Yeah.
That's a weird
It
thing to
is it is
that's
a weird thing.
because if you made the argument it'll toughen your kids up. Okay, I'll take that.
I do it to
or-
Maisie all the time.
All right,
Do
thank
you?
I do. Naturally, I do it. I do pass it on. You guys want me to be honest? I'm not going to fudge this. You can ask Andrea right now. Andrea does not do it. I forever am like, I go, if we're going to get, I don't know, if Andrea sent me up the road to get milkshakes for like Saturday night treat, I'd come back, and guess who didn't get a milkshake? Maisie, every single time.
That is odd.
Yeah,
and then you and then
I'm like,
and then
"Oh,
here it
yeah,"
is.
and I do what my dad would have done. I do the same thing. I do the same thing. Yeah.
Who is it for you, dude?
It's trauma.
You're like, I'm a little
Gotcha.
microdose trauma.
I don't know what it is. It's
But,
not good.
I mean, me and Crystal do things that are like, why are we doing this? And it's like,
Look, Andrew's yelling at me from the chat room. She says, and Maisie gets so pissed off. Yes, that's true. And all caps, she says, why do that? It causes undue annoyances. Wow, you're really unloading in the chat room today. If you want to come to the chat room and see my wife yell at me, you can be a part of that and talk to her. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live.
It's old school dad behavior. I like it. Listen,
I'm a classic dad.
I'm not saying stop doing it. I like it. It's
Some
fine. It's
ladies
not,
like a classic dad.
it's not harming them that much, but
Well, we don't know.
But it is an odd thing to do if you didn't like it as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like if you grew up with an appreciation, like, hey, I'm glad I went through that, then I can understand doing it. But if it's like, oh, that was annoying my whole childhood.
Well, okay,
Well,
I'll
I'm
give you
gonna do it
this.
to my
Maisie
kid now.
will say things to me. She'll say this. I'll be like, oh, wow. Oh, you wanted a milkshake too? I'm like, oh, and I'll do that sort of thing. And then she'll be like, I know all your tricks, Dada.
Okay, well because my sons often do, like me and Crystal will say some joke like, "Oh, you didn't hear about this?" Like some absurd thing, and
Do
then
you do the one where I'm like, yeah, the family's coming because I sold you?
you know it's funny.
I do those. I do like big ones. I'm like, oh, I'm selling you to the family.
We did this last night to Max. Max is like, think of a number 1 to 100. I bet I can guess it, right? And I'm
Oh,
like,
my God. He's a little you.
And then I'm like, all right,
I'll bet you $100.
I'm like, I'll think of something, and I got it in my head. What is it? And Max like 100, and I'm like, oh my God, it was 100. How'd you do that?
You're psychic.
And then he's like, I'm like, do it again, and he's like, 3, and I'm like, that was it.
Oh, now you're just you're reverse trolling him.
And then Tommy's like, I know what you're doing. You're just
I love
saying
Tommy.
whatever number he's picking.
Yeah.
And then Chris is like, why'd you ruin it?
Because it's you. Because he's
I know,
you.
Tommy hates fun.
I know. And they're like, okay, well, we're doing trick and bags. So there's little tricks like that, but I don't know. Is that good? You know, you can go on for too far, I guess, and it can really get sick. You know, you start making them think, like, you know, indoctrinating them to think they're got magical powers.
Right,
You
yeah.
know.
And then you
They
end up
start a
like,
cult.
then
Every
you end up
parent
like
does
that
it.
little Asian dojo owner who ended up getting beat by the MMA guy. He walked in there because all of his clientele had convinced him that he was a magical
yeah.
dojo owner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you get enough gaslighting can work in reverse. You get enough yes men around you, and next thing you know, you're convinced that you have some sort of karate powers that you do not have.
I'd like that, though. I really like when they think they have the power, so they actually go on with a competition against a guy who's just punching their face. And then, like, I wonder how soon they realize it was all BS, or if they're so delusional they still leave there thinking like, it just didn't work today. Or something.
I feel off today.
sorry, but that's how it got to be like that.
Sam, you got any more
Sure.
emails over there?
Business retweets. So Daniel posted a pic of his new Daytona Tortugas hat. And in response, I posted a short video that I took with Sheldon the mascot dancing on stage with Juvenile. When the Daytona Tortugas retweeted my video, was it A, they didn't want to watch the video, or B, they do not care if they will get negative feedback when Juvenile says, I'm hoping she don't leave my D broken. I already thought it was odd when they had him dancing for the entirety of Juvenile's set, but I didn't think that they would publicly acknowledge it. Can't wait for the BDM shirts to get printed and shipped. Love all three of you, especially Tom. I won't hold my breath to hear it back.
All right.
Wow.
Sheldon's partying with Juvenile?
My God, Sheldon parties.
So
Was that during Rockville
I don't know.
or whatever camp? Well, Sheldon, I'm putting it out there. Daytona Tortugas, we want to work with you.
The chat saying back that shell up, and I'm all for it.
Oh, back that shell up is awesome.
where are we stand with Juvenile? What's up with Juvenile?
I haven't heard much. This is the most I've heard about Juvenile in a while. I got to be
A
honest.
lot
with
of
you.
rappers named after small children. Lil Baby, Da
Right,
Baby,
Da Ba-
Juvenile.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they start
The
young,
Brat.
I think. They get their name young,
Yeah.
so it just sticks with them.
Yeah.
But Juvenile, is he still touring? Like, still relevant in some way?
Is he problematic? I don't know.
I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about Juvenile.
Who am I thinking of?
You're
then?
thinking of Mystical.
Mystical. Yes, I always get my wizards mixed up with my children.
Is Mystical problematic?
He's still
Yeah.
raping, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, still?
Yeah.
You think
Sometimes it
stopped?
stays in. Yeah, I feel like.
So Juvenile was back that ass up, right?
Oh, Juvenile actually started his own high-end furniture company called Made by Juvie.
Weird.
What kind of furniture? Like an old leather, like a leather
We should have got
chair?
that for the studio.
We can't afford no juvie.
That's a weird business for Juvenile to go
Yeah.
into.
What
Furniture, high-end furniture.
No, I hope it's low end like IKEA. It's like flat pack.
He
furniture.
started it during the pandemic.
Oh, times are tough.
Hold on, Juvenile started a high-end furniture company during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Weird.
What's
Like,
this
was he just-
furniture look like?
He utilized his Instagram to show off different creations for the likes of Trombone Shorty, various wall mounts, personal bars, liquor dispensers, and more.
Is he making the
Trombone
stuff? or-
Shorty. What's that?
That's a friend of mine.
That's an artist.
Oh, he's an artist. Yeah, you're not
Oh.
familiar with Trombone Shorty? He's good.
No.
Wow, this is kind of cool
Is
stuff.
he making it? Is he like carving it? Is he like?
No, he's just designing
It says handmade, and it has him.
Yeah,
he's making it.
But the stuff my daughter makes is handmade too. Is it like he's gluing? Like is he
I
using
don't know.
if he's not using a hot glue gun?
I'm about
I
to
don't
buy a
want it.
Juvie liquor dispenser. I know that.
Expensive.
I mean, he's got money, so he could put together like a small.
It's not like Nick
business,
Offerman.
right?
He's not in there with like a
No,
wood rasp,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like.
I'm sure he's got like some upholster.
It's kind of like us saying we have a clothing line because we sell a lot of T-shirts, right?
Yeah, he just gets it all from China.
Yeah, it's Chinese garbage.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you gotta get that juvie. Yeah, it's-
What is like? Is it couches? What kind of furniture?
No, so it's let's see if I go here. We got liquor dispensers.
That's not furniture.
We have
Oh,
we have
yeah.
like side tables and
Wait a minute.
chairs, and we have lighting.
Is it like goofy stuff that you have in your man cave, right? It's like a table.
It's
that
all
like,
kitschy
or a
kinda
globe
stuff.
you open up and there's like a whiskey decanter.
Oh, I'm gonna buy this hot boy chair.
I wonder if Juvenile realizes like his audience now like knew him. Like now they're in their 40s. They all got houses and they're all nerd dads, right?
Yeah.
Like
I need a hot boy chair.
It's $1,000.
and they get like some side Juvenile.
What's
side
it
table.
look like? Is it
looks
what's it made out
super
of?
uncomfortable. It's just wood.
Does it have some sort of theme like
It just
back
says
that ass up? Does it have back
It has
that
a
ass up?
quote.
It's gotta have back that ass.
it has
up.
a quote that says, "If I ain't a hot boy, then what do you call that? Juvenile." And then on the seat of it, it says "Made by Juvie." That's it.
I don't want to. I don't want made by Juvie on the seat. Put it on the back.
It looks just like a stool with a back.
$1,000 Juvie stool.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
So
You can get a transformer table for $3,000.
what is it?
No, nobody's buying this garbage.
What, is it like one of those?
It's tiny.
Oh my God! The one that Drew made us is better than that, and we put it. I don't even want to tell you how we robbed that guy.
So
Drew worked his ass off, handmade table. We just gave him a little bit of coin for his time. It's way better than that piece of trash.
I wonder if he was just into furniture or something. That was his hobby, and so he went into it because that's a
Maybe.
bizarre market to get into unless it was you're passionate about it.
I look at all
Like,
this stuff as like
weird.
scams. I think he's got a buddy that makes these tables. He's like, I'm just gonna say I make those.
Oh, he puts his name
I'll put
on
him
it?
on there for $3,000, then some dumb idiot will buy it.
Just for the novelty, I guess.
He's claiming he makes it.
What's his process?
I don't know.
He shows up at his factory, gets his gear, gets out his fiberglass, starts working it,
It's like-
designing it using the CAD program.
Like with Nick Offerman and his like for you, I think it's virtually impossible for you to even order a Nick Offerman canoe at this point.
you
Like,
can't. You can
know,
order like a comb or like a beard comb
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Because there's no way he has enough time to carve a
Special
canoe.
order only,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm sure he's probably just putting
selling-
together
he's selling,
the pieces.
Masks that come with a bamboo straw, reusable bamboo straw. He's,
Okay, this is
God,
okay.
I'm
This
mad
is
at
a
this
little
you can get
bit.
made by Juvie socks.
This is a little bit like there are certain
They're just putting his
artists,
name on it.
comedians, certain people that like have like they ascend to like a very or right at the very extremely high level of fame. And then once they start falling, they just start licensing their name to anything and everything they can find, almost like a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
So
because you gotta
start
get that
seeing,
money.
Yeah, you start seeing they got the mask and the bamboo reusable straws and this.
The lamps are pretty cool, but I would not
I think you're being nice.
spend this kind of money on it.
How much
Well,
for
how
a
much
lamp?
a lamp? Should we get a juvenile
let's
lamp for our
see.
Airbnb? yeah, I feel like
I think more people would book.
Looks like the cheapest is $259.
Oh, $259.
Oh.
$159.
If it was $159, we
have
have
to
to
buy
buy
it.
it today.
And that one's called Shorty Gone Fishing.
Oh, let me see. What does it look
Wait a
cool?
minute. Shorty gone fishing. What?
It's a light bulb man with a fishing pole.
Wait, that looks like the penis lamp we already
does,
have in
yeah.
there. He's selling lamps that have already been. He's
Yeah.
just buying lamps and reselling them as a juvenile lamp.
Yeah, he's buying Chinese
Trash.
trash and then putting juvenile.
Okay, there's no. He don't make
Hold on,
this.
we do that.
He ain't making that.
There's a goblin skater lamp
He
for
ain't ma-
$4,000.
He's not making any of this. None of this stuff is touched by his hands.
So, but you're right. Some of his buddy makes this like artisan
His-
stuff, art.
His
and
manager, somebody booking agent, somebody has a second job, or
and then he can just.
I don't
stand,
know. On
you
his Instagram, he's got videos of him working in the shop.
yeah, there's
Like, this
there's
may be
videos
his
of me
hobby.
smiling on my Instagram, but I'm sad all the time.
this may be his hobby. His like he's a
You're like
how
Seth
old
Rogen.
is he now?
You know, like Seth
50?
Rogen does pottery.
47.
Okay, so he's an older middle-aged man that is everybody turns into a nerd dad, and then he's like probably did this as a hobby, and then now he wants to monetize it, and then figured out probably a way where he at least touches one piece that he sells.
It says he found
bit.
a love for building furniture while trapped inside during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Trapped
Sound
inside.
like my plants.
So
Or
like he couldn't tour, so he's like, I'm stuck at the house.
So wait, you're Orlando's horticulture juvenile.
Yeah.
I should come out with
Yeah.
some Tom plants. Not a,
Yeah, I like the name Tom Plant.
it's not as much as a markup with plants though. Like furniture, you can sell for $4,000, and no
That's
one knows
why I don't
the
believe
value.
it. Like, at least gotta have a picture of him with his hand on the table. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't show a picture of Juvenile, who's not known for any of his woodworking or furniture needs, and then you have a picture of like this table, and then you're like, yeah, he made that. That doesn't fly for me.
Also, there's not enough time for him to become good at it.
No.
Just for you to like it during the pandemic. Like
This is
woodworking is a skill that takes decades to get good at, right?
Yeah, now if you're saying he bought some Chinese garbage and then like stenciled his name on there, sure, I'll give you that. But he's not in there in the CAD machine. He's not let's bevel the edge on this piece of glass. He's not doing any of that.
During the pandemic, he developed a love for money. So he decided, since he can't
Cash money millionaire.
can't perform, he
watching
needs to
his
sell
star
garbage.
continue to fall even more rapidly because of a global pandemic, he'll do anything to get that cash.
And I feel like, there's a lot of people that had to stop touring for like a solid 6 months, but they started back up in Florida and Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they found places to tour. Like even the comedians, some comedians never even stopped.
Right.
Like they may have stopped for like 3 weeks at the beginning, but there's places in Florida and Texas and all, places that didn't care. They toured.
Yeah, the chat room is kind of echoing what I was saying. Seth Rogen does pottery on his Instagram.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like, I've looked at it, and I think it's pretty neat.
But he's too rich to care about if he's going to sell it, it'll probably be to
He's
charity.
selling it.
He's selling it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's just, again,
novelty,
it's
right?
a novelty thing. It's not like this. This is different.
And then Seth Rogen, is he selling it for profit, his own pieces? You would think that
I
he
think
didn't have
so.
enough time to even, because why bother with how much are you selling it for? Like the highest bidder, or are you selling it for like $32 a pot?
I don't really know, but I think it was more approachable than you would think. Like, you would be able to grab it.
And is his own handmade pieces? Like how many could
There's
he
a
possibly
standing
make?
ashtray for $300.
Yeah,
Oh,
his
that's
stuff's
a-
pretty reasonable,
okay.
though.
$300 for an ashtray?
Yeah.
Well, but
I'm not-
also Seth Rogen made it. I feel like it's better than $4,000 for a table that I know for a fact Juvenile didn't make.
Yeah. You would think though Seth Rogen would sell it for, because he's a millionaire, right? A lot of times over. So you would think, why even sell it for $300 for profit? You would think you just sell it for charity, right? If you're that famous and that rich.
I think it bodes more to be his actual like passion for the project if he keeps the integrity of selling it for what, if he wasn't Seth Rogen, what he would sell it for.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it makes more sense to sell it for $300 versus just saying, like, oh, I just do all of these for charity, because that almost makes it matter.
I'm more impressed that he
less.
got the website houseplant.com. How was that not taken before? Or do you think he bought it out? Because that seems very
Who got that site?
Seth Rogen.
He may have bought it out.
He bought houseplant.com.
Yeah, that's the name of the shop to
shop,
buy the
yeah.
ashtrays and the ceramics.
Why did he choose that? Like, he's not selling house plants.
It's stuff. It's because it's all about weed.
I think that's like his
House
brand,
plant.
houseplant.
Oh. So okay, so it's more. I thought it was just for the pots. Because I was like,
I
that's an
think that-
odd name for a pot.
I think they're on. It's still a good URL to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is crazy that they.
Right?
He definitely bought that off someone, but
Gotta have.
But man, plants are big money. So you think like there's other. I mean, Gabriella
Oh,
does
my
well,
God.
and it's like
I sent some people there over the weekend. They were like, "Oh my God, where is this place? Why have I not known about this place?"
that blew up during the pandemic. There lots of these businesses, especially anything to do with the house, is crazy busy.
Yep.
Although I imagine slowing down a little bit.
You got one more email because we got just a couple of minutes here. A little one, if you got it.
Dear Tom, Dan, Sam, and others, good job on the most recent shows of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan, and also the most recent BDM shows with Tom and Dan, as well as the most recent Friday Free show with Tom and Dan. I live every bit of whatever you are doing. I can listen to a new Tim and Dan product every day of the week, and I do. Tammy and Don make me laugh, not cry, and share short stories with. You guys are great for some reason, and I like all of it. Thank you, Tim, Darn, and Samantha. The biggest compliment from what I can remember. 3 Black Santas.
All right, drunk guy. I like that.
I like compliment emails. Let's do a whole segment about
tell
I
us
got a couple because people felt bad for us after this week.
Yeah, tell us how great we are.
Again, it's only a
Yeah.
couple people that
really
are
is.
upset, I think.
Even them, I thought most of it was more tongue in cheek than anything else.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
when you're reading, I never read any of it with like any anger or people being mad. Really, most of them are really funny.
Yeah, I thought there were a lot of people were just joking around.
Hot
like,
tub
"Where's my
guy,
stuff?"
divorced hot tub guy, David. That guy's literally hilarious. He's just slaying me. He's just murdering me.
Now, how long before he lets that thing fall into disrepair? And
I don't know.
and
Right now, it's
not-
his prized possession.
No, I know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
but he just got it.
it's hot at the beginning, but sooner or later, and this
Once you realize you're peeing in it,
This this kind of ties into a topic, and maybe we'll talk about it on the BDM show. But when does the pandemic stuff that people bought start to be sold off?
I
oh,
it
it's
already
happening.
has.
It's
yeah.
happening.
Yeah, but
Peloton's crazy.
but it takes like I have this theory that it takes a solid 5 years for
I don't even know I'm that long.
you like I'm talking about like, the boats, the RVs, some of the bigger stuff. You know, like people bought all this stuff. Like it was
Seth
crazy.
sold his.
Yeah, but he's getting another one.
Is he though?
You're right. He hasn't got it
Right,
yet.
exactly.
So I think you realized that was probably a poor financial
Well,
decision.
you saw him riding that motorcycle on a day when it was raining. I guarantee he walked out and he's like, "Oh, I should probably ride it."
But so I know it's starting to happen, but like we're soon, like it'll probably all be flooded the market with like in the next year or two.
I would imagine. Yeah.
It starts really like selling fast on Facebook Marketplace and all that stuff. You'll see RVs and boats and all this exercise
I'm already
equipment.
starting to see some around here.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
go.
The Pelotons for sure, all the exercise equipment. Probably still though, as soon as they put them up, they instantly sell. Right?
Yeah, a lot of times they don't even make it to the marketplace because you'll just find somebody
Your
in the
friend.
group. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these groups. I mean, that's
It's easier to sell anything.
you don't even need to even post anything. If you're in a Peloton group and you have a Peloton, you just message one guy on there that you'll know a guy, and then it spreads, and then next thing you know, you get a message saying, "I'll pay full price. Here you go." It's
Oh, if you added the Peloton to the group, it's like, hey, this for sale, full price, it'll be gone, right? Instantly.
instantly.
It's so easy to market your used goods now, like
Yeah.
to a direct demographic that wants
100%.
that.
Like to
Yeah.
nice people. Yeah, you can just go into any group and just throw it in there, and then I'll come get it.
All right,
Crazy.
bye.